Hi, I'm another realtor in Florida. Just kidding, guys. I'm a regular dude. Welcome to my channel. This is Jose. Today we're going to look at the top 10 most exclusive places in Florida. Number 10 is Bay Colony Drive in Naples, Florida. This is a very exclusive piece of real estate. Towards the front of Bay Colony Drive, there are some condos, and I've worked in there many times. However, if you keep going to the end, there are 15 properties that are very exclusive. These homes are directly on the beach, and they're surrounded by a large natural preserve, which means there's nobody around to bother you other than mosquitoes. A Mediterranean-style mansion overlooking the Gulf of Mexico can set you back a mere $15 million. Surrounded by beaches and natural preserves, and in an area of Naples that is usually high density, well, the other parts of Naples, not on Bay Colony Drive, there is a large Clam Pass Natural Preserve that puts a barrier between the average millionaires and the super millionaires living at Bay Colony Drive. It's very exclusive, and if you ever have the opportunity to work in there or live in there, you'll see what I'm talking about. Number 9 is North Captiva. You're going to notice that a lot of these places are in South Florida. According to Google, 51 billionaires live in Florida, all of them residing in the southern part of the state. Therefore, this makes this part of the state a little bit more exclusive. I know on my channel many times people in the Panhandle or in some small backwards town say, hey, you don't remember us. Well, because you're not really qualifying for the list. When we make a list of the top 10 most boring places in Florida, we'll remember you. Anyways, do you really want all these people to move to your small town because they heard it on some internet list? You don't want that. There's a traffic jam that takes 15 minutes to pull into my street. You don't want that in your small little town. Trust me, you don't want these people. You don't want to be on this list. North Captiva is absolutely stunning. You can only get there by boat. So people who drive cars and other vehicles on wheels will not have the opportunity to disturb you on your private island, which basically just has some resorts and other rich people stuff going on. North Captiva. Number 8 is Mound Key. This is one that the average person might be able to get their hands on if they have a flotation device, aka a boat, and if you're very adventurous and are not afraid to venture into the Estero Bay on a small canoe, you can find yourself on Mound Key. There are some private properties on this island. You're probably not allowed to build on them, but somebody who has a lot of money or inherited this piece of land actually has a piece of land there, and they use it for goat herding. So there you go. You can have your own private island for your goats if you can afford it. Mound Key has a north trail and a south trail. You can enter through any one of these. However, the one in the extreme southern part is a private boat dock, and it is for sale right now, and you will not be able to use that because it is private property. However, Mound Key is a very exclusive place. It's in the middle of Estero Bay, and it can only be accessed through a flotation device. So Mound Key, well deserved on the list. Number 7 is Watson's Place. Money alone will not get you to this place. You need to be a little adventurous. Located in the Everglades National Park vicinity, there is a section of Florida between Miami and Naples that is completely uninhabited, and there are rivers that go straight into the Everglades. There's places like Lost Man River and Alligator Bay. This is a very adventurous place. Sometimes people go on expeditions, or 10 or 12 canoers who are very healthy go out there and they canoe all the way to these campsites out in the middle of the Everglades. It is very exclusive, and only the most adventurous people are willing to go all the way out there. It is a great experience. I haven't done it yet. I almost got on a crew that was heading down there to one of the campsites in this area. However, I didn't make the fitness qualification. You have to be very fit because if you're canoeing out there, it's a very long, dangerous trek, and you have to be able to keep up with everybody else. So yeah, definitely Watson's Place, campsite in the middle of the Everglades. Absolutely worth it on this list. Number 6 is Kewadin. I don't know how to say it. This is an island just south of Naples. 85% of land on this island is public property, so if you have a boat, there are places you can go to on this island, and it is a very popular destination for vacationers who have a boat. However, 15% of the island is exclusive private property. If you want to have a house on an island with the beach, hey, if you can afford it, this may be for you. This is absolutely one of the most exclusive places. This has been a crashing, stomping party ground for many people. However, there are exclusive properties on this island. If you have a few $1,000,000 laying around, there are 7 miles of pristine beaches backed up by preserved land. It's very pristine, and the properties are completely off the grid. You have your own power supply, your own water supply. You will not be needing to tap into the regular Collier County utilities. You're beyond that. Number 5 is Star Island, an island in Miami that you may have seen if you've been on one of these tours they give you in Miami. I know I did it one time, where you get a tour on the backwaters and they show you where all the stars live and where all the movie stars and singers have their properties. This is where they're at. Star Island is kind of like in the middle between Miami and Miami Beach, so it's a very exclusive piece of real estate. It is a stomping ground for movie stars, singers, actresses, and extremely wealthy people. If you are looking to buy real estate on this little island, you're going to spend about $15 million for an empty lot, or $28 to $42 million for a decent property. Now, we're a decent property. We're talking $42 million. It's not in the $80 million ballpark, okay? These are just, $40 million. That's about the budget you need to get on this island. I'm not really impressed. I can do better for myself than that. Moving on to number 4, the Dry Tortugas, Fort Jefferson. Unless, this is how exclusive this island is. Unless you were a prisoner in the 1800s, you can't even get on this island. The only people who've been able to enjoy this island are prisoners. You may have heard the phrase, "Your name ain't worth mud." Well, Mr. Mud himself was imprisoned in the Dry Tortugas, about 80 miles further out than Key West. Most tourists just stop at Key West. The ultra-wealthy ride their yachts all the way to Fort Jefferson, camp out for the night, and if they're adventurous, they can go diving with the sharks after shumming. That sounds like a way to die right there. It's a very exclusive way to die. This island is absolutely stunning. You can actually ride a boat, get a tour to this island, or you can ride your own personal boat, and I believe you can still camp at night. It's an absolute must exclusive Florida location. Number 3 is Sanibel Captiva. Yeah, the average Joe with about $700,000 can get a condo somewhere in Sanibel, but there's a few spots in Sanibel Captiva that are reserved for the absolute most exclusive customers. These properties are overlooking the Gulf of Mexico, tropical lush gardens, mansions between $7 to $14 million, absolutely exclusive. Sanibel Island is definitely one of the most exclusive places. There's even a toll to charge the mere residents of Fort Myers and their vicinity for stepping foot on these pristine beaches that sometimes don't have too much red tide going. Recently, my mother-in-law took my wife and they rented or went on this service where they put like 20 people on a super fast go boat and they fly like at 100 miles an hour to the backwaters. And yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff to do there as well. Very exclusive. Sanibel Captiva. Number 2 is Port Royal, located in Naples, Florida. The mere residents of Naples can come here to haul away garbage or clean our boats or whatnot. But if you live here, the old saying for Port Royal was, money alone does not buy you property on Port Royal. And I'm sure they've got sued for that at some point. Yes, very exclusive. They're definitely excluding people from moving into their neighborhood. As you drive through the neighborhood, it doesn't look very impressive because they have these giant hedges and yards and gardens to keep the eyes of the regular people off my mansions that I have down there. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, this guy is a total clown. There's no way he has a mansion or a boat in Port Royal. And envy it's a horrible thing. Envy, the desire of wanting what belongs to others. I'm going to prove to you of a picture that shows you that I have property in Port Royal. Here's me on my yacht in Port Royal. I am wearing a company shirt. I'm not going to be able to pull this off. I go there to work sometimes, okay, guys? And these properties sometimes are just second homes or third or fourth or 500th homes. And regular guys like me get to ride people's boats and clean them. And we get to haul away junk from their lawns. When a tree falls over, we get to go there and cut it down. So sometimes regular people are enjoying these properties more than the owners themselves, who are probably in Russia somewhere dealing in fur seal coats or something. Who knows what rich people do for a living? It's not for a living, it's for entertainment. Okay. If you live in Naples, you've heard the Port Royal stories. I've heard one story that I've heard from two different people about a lady, I think she was from Venezuela, who was married to this rich guy. He died, and she inherited all his properties. And the residents of Port Royal were not happy that a mere Venezuelan lady who married some rich guy now owns property in our community. Oh no! Mar A Lago is number one. I actually drove past this place, and it has a few very exclusive residents, like the President of the United States himself, Mr. DT. Yes. When I was there recently, I was afraid to take pictures because there was a guy outside with a machine gun the size of a landscaping worker, and it had scopes and stuff, and it was absolutely terrifying. The security is heavy. Not anyone will land in Mar A Lago. And if you try to walk up to them and give them a business card and say, hey, I'm Jose, I pick up junk for a living, and I was wondering if the owner of this property needed to get some of the stuff hauled away from here, they will put a gun in your face, a badge in your face, and escort you back to West Palm Beach, where you belong. Very exclusive, and the Palm Beach area itself has some very exclusive properties. Other than Naples area, Palm Beach has the highest real estate, and we said Palm Beach. Don't get it twisted with West Palm Beach. That's a whole different story. That's the top 10 most exclusive places in Florida. Hey, have you ever been to any of these places? And if you have, please mention it. And if you live in the Panhandle and you're telling me about how there's this Air Force base and you've been, or there's this one house over there and there down there, there's an exclusive property in North Florida out in the woods. Ain't nobody go back there. Okay, every time I make this list, there's somebody who says, like, I just had somebody trying to tell me that Lutz, Florida needed to be on the list of the top 10 places to retire, and he called me an idiot for not including Lutz, Florida on the top 10 best places to retire. Hey, by the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and you look at our other top 10 list. Of course, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't agree with my list. You can leave a comment with your suggestion, and you can also make your own list on your own YouTube channel and leave me alone. This is my channel. These are my lists. Leave me alone, Florida Panhandle.